Not every day you get to play one of these bad boys. This is a 1957 vintage Fender Stratocaster. So without further ado, pour yourself a drink, grab some popcorn, and let's get straight into this Squealing Pig Guitars episode. Hey guitarists, welcome back to Squealing Pig Guitars, the home of luxury shred machines here in Nottingham, England. My name is Keightley, and today I have the utmost privilege of showing you a vintage 1957 Fender Stratocaster. This really is the holy grail of Stratocasters. It's a pre-CBS model, and the date is stamped 0857, meaning August of 1957. There's a couple of cool things about the 57 model. You get the lovely kind of V profile on the neck, and it's the first year that they were using plastics instead of Bakelite. But we'll get into all the specs shortly. I'd firstly just like to give a massive thank you to our friend who has lent this to us for today's demo. It was very generous of him to allow us to borrow this for today's episode, and I'm having an absolute blast. So without further ado, let's break down the specs of this awesome 1957 Fender Stratocaster. So guys, just thought I'd show you this quickly. This is the original 1957 tweed case, and as you can see, it's very, very worn indeed. Obviously taken a lot of batterings over the years, but this is so cool to have in our possession. This is a relic, it's an antique of its time. It's such an honor to be able to show you this today. So let's open up this middle latch. I've opened up the other two already and see the guitar inside. Wow, that's so cool. It's crazy to think that this is from 1957. Of course, there's a little bit of aging to this guitar, but it's in really good condition for its age. What a time capsule of a piece. So let's go over the specs of this guitar. So we have an older body. This is finished in the two-tone sunburst finish. And as you can see, this guitar just oozes vibe. We have so many areas of where there's dents, where there's lacquer checking. It's a real nice example of how a 50s guitar should look when it's relicked. As you can see, we've got a little bit of belt buckle rash here. The serial number of this one is got the prefix dash, and it's 21080. That's very common for this era. Of course, we just have the single layer of plastic, so the white pit guard. Obviously, in the 60s, we then get a 3-ply guard. This has the plastic, parts on this one. In the spring of 57, they changed from Bakelite to plastics. This is the first Stratocaster with the plastics. Of course, we have the 3 pickups. We have a 3-way switch as well, as this is in the 50s. However, you can get the in-between tones if you kind of wedge the switch in between. Moving on to the neck, we have a one-piece maple neck. This has got that beautiful V carve to it, like the Eric Clapton carve. I love this carve, it's so comfortable. We have black indicator dots and the side dots. Of course, we have that walnut skunk stripe in the back there, and then we have the vintage style tuners. We have the 50s headstock, and it's just such a classic look for a Fender Stratocaster. From first impressions of this guitar, it's a very lightweight Stratocaster, feels really nice in the hand. It resonates so nicely and it holds tuning really well, which is a credit to its setup. The one downside of this guitar is that the frets are very small, so I know bending on this guitar is going to be a little bit tricky. But that being said, the neck carve more than makes up for that, as it's a really comfortable neck carve. It's quite a thick V shape, but it's very, very pronounced in the middle, as you'd expect from a V shape, but it's very comfortable indeed. I just can't get over how cool this guitar is, and it's quite overwhelming holding such an expensive guitar in my hand, but this is an antique, a gem from the 50s. So I have to plug this in, I'm so excited, so let's warm up the 2-rock and get to the tone demonstration. So now it's time to hear what this 1957 Fender Stratocaster sounds like. Of course, it's an absolute relic of its time, an antique, but how does it sound through my current rig? On today's episode, I'm going to be plugging it into the 2-Rock Bloomfield drive on the lead gain channel, and then I've got a Vemiram Myriad fuzz on the floor for a little bit of fun. In the intro of today's video, I was playing some licks from Cliffs of Dover by Eric Johnson, so let's start off with that once again. Let's hear the bridge pickup first, that's the solo tone opener. Bridge pickup sounds incredible with that fuzz pedal, and let's hear the neck pickup position, which I used in the intro. The neck pickup as well just sounds incredible. This guitar resonates so well and it's so easy to play. It's got a really nice slinky feel to it, and although the frets are quite small, it's still very easy to bend. It has a really nice V-pronounced neck, which is very comfortable, and for more classic Strat playing, which I'll do in a little bit, the thumb over the back of the neck is a very comfortable position. So that was the neck pickup tone using the Vemiram fuzz, and obviously I played a Chris Buck solo there from Cardinal Black. This guitar bends so easily, it's very easy to play, and it resonates so nicely as well. So for this tone demonstration, I'm just going to go through each of the pickup selections. Basically, a 57 pre-CBS Stratocaster has a 3-way switch, not a 5. And you can kind of knock it in between the two positions and get like a position 2 and 4. But as the factory setup, it's only a 3-way. So let's hear the neck position now and hear what that sounds like. So far. I'm now going to try and stick the switch in between the neck and the middle pickup. Let's see if we can get it. So I've successfully knocked the switch in between the neck and the middle so we can get that kind of out of phase Strat tone that we all know. That's my favourite position so far. Such a lovely articulate tone. Going through the 2-Rock as well, that's just classic 50s tones for you. So now let's hear that middle pickup. Okay, I changed my mind. That's definitely my favorite position so far. That sounded incredible. I'm loving the V shape on this neck. It's such a comfortable Strat profile. I'm not normally a big fan of 50s Strats, but I'm absolutely loving this. You can really tell that this was handmade just from the kind of craftsmanship of the headstock and the body. It just feels so smooth and so comfortable to play. Now let's try and wedge the switch between the bridge and the middle and get some Knopfler tones. Okay, I've got the Knopfler tone. Let's hear it. This has to be one of the best sounding Strats I've played. Going through this 2-rock, I'm so impressed with the compression, the way that the guitar responds to my fingerstyle playing. It's just so dynamic, and I'm loving every moment of playing this. Let's finally hear the bridge pickup. Is it going to be ice picky? Only a tiny bit. So now to finish off this vintage guitar video, I'm going to play one of my favourite Strat songs of all time. This is Snow by the Red Hot Chili Peppers. So guys, it's the end of this Fender Stratocaster video. I really hope you've enjoyed checking out this 1957 vintage guitar. I have to say, today's been quite overwhelming. It's been a very exciting episode. I've never played a real 50s Stratocaster before, so this is my first time. I have to say, it was quite surprising playing one of these kind of mythical guitars. At the end of the day, this is a vintage guitar, and you're going to get good ones and you're going to get bad ones. This is definitely a good one. It could maybe do with a refret in a couple of years if you wanted it to play a little bit more like a modern Stratocaster. But I have to say that in terms of the way it feels and it looks, there's nothing incredibly special about it. However, the tone of these pickups and the way that it reacted with my rig was truly special. I felt like I could express myself a lot better on this guitar, and I just love the dynamic range when playing the Mark Knopfler riffs. Call it psychosomatic, call it biased, because I know it's expensive and I know it's out of my realm of possibility, but I thought this guitar was absolutely incredible sounding. For me, it was the sound of this guitar that was so damn special. It wasn't really the way that the guitar played or the way that it looked, but the tone, there was something special about that. So in that case, I'm going to give this guitar a 10 out of 10. It is probably one of the best Strats I've ever played. Even though I'm more of a fan of the 60s spec, I found this 50 so comfortable to play. The V carve, pickup set, the vibe, it's a perfect guitar. Of course guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. What do you think of this 1957 pre-CBS Stratocaster? Do you think it's all hype? Do you think it's just because it's vintage that I like it? Or do you think it's something special? Let me know in the comment section below. This guitar feels completely different to a Fender Custom Shop. The lacquer on this one actually feels a lot thinner, and it feels a lot stickier in comparison to the ones that you get on the custom shops. The custom shops tend to be rubbed down a lot, and they're quite matted finishes, whereas this is very much a gloss finish that's just been worn. Just goes to show that this is true nitro, and what they're using on the Fender Custom Shop guitars is definitely a little bit different. But that's just an observation that I wanted to add in the end of this video. But as always guys, if you've enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like rating. This really helps us increase engagement on these videos, which means bigger and better guitars, just like this one, on the channel. Also, comment your thoughts down below this 1957 Fender Stratocaster. I love replying to you guys in the comment section below. And if you're new to the channel, make sure to hit subscribe. But thank you so much for checking out this Squealing Pig Guitars video. My name is Ben Keightley, and I'll see you again very shortly for another video. But until then, keep rocking guys. I'll see you soon.